welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it held, it is behind you now, completely behind you. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves sleep. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, whatever was hard, whatever felt heavy, you made it through. You are here. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe. And you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The island has you. The sea is around you. The belly soft, the chest soft, the heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the grass is on the roof, and the Atlantic is on all sides, and the village has 15 houses, and the wind has always been this wind, and the evening is as long as the summer allows. Come with me. The islands between Norway and Iceland, between Scotland and the open North Atlantic, the Faroe Islands, 18 islands, roughly, depending on how you count. The counting complicated by the stacks and the skerries and the rock outcrops that are almost islands, and the low tide connections that make islands of what is otherwise peninsula. 18, or thereabouts, the islands that the Norse settlers found in the 9th century, that perhaps the Irish monks found before them, the monks who came in their small boats seeking solitude. Finding this, the islands in the middle of the North Atlantic that are not on the way to anywhere, that are not between anything, that simply are here in the gray sea, in the gray sky, the islands, the grass on them very green, the green that the constant moisture makes, the rain and the cloud and the spray, making this green that is almost too green. That is the most present green, the green that says, this is not a mild climate. This is a green that had to work for its color. The village on the western slope of the island, the village not facing the open sea, facing the fjord between this island and the next, the protected water, the shelter, the village on the fjord-facing slope, because this is how the Faroese built their villages, away from the direct Atlantic, into the shelter of the fjord. 15 houses, perhaps 18, the turf-roofed houses. This is the extraordinary thing about the Faroese house. The roof of grass, the living grass, the grass that grows on the roof, as it grows on the slope above the village. The same grass, the same plants, the grass that insulates, that has insulated these buildings for 1,000 years. The grass roof, not a decorative choice, a survival choice. The insulation that the island provides, the grass that grows on the roof as the sea spray and the rain and the wind allow. The living roof, the roof that is also the hillside. The evening, September, the Faroe Islands in September, the days shortening, the summer's almost perpetual light beginning to give way, the darkness returning. The Faroese know this. They live by the light, by its coming and its going. The summer, the light that lasts until midnight, that comes back before 3. The brief, imperfect dark of the Faroese summer. And September, the balance tipping, the dark claiming more. The evenings now genuinely dark. By 10, by 9:30, this evening, September, the light still present at 7. A gray light, the Faroese gray, the gray that is not absence of color, but its own color, the gray of the sea, the gray of the sky, the gray of the fog that comes in from the Atlantic, the gray that the Faroese painters have painted, the gray that is the color of this place. The smell, the Faroe Islands, the smell, the sea, always, the North Atlantic, the full North Atlantic smell, the cold salt, the clean cold salt, but also the grass that is everywhere, that covers the slopes and the rooftops and the hillsides, the damp grass smell of a wet Atlantic island, the constant moisture in the air, the grass releasing, and the sheep, the Faroese sheep, the islands named for them. Faroe, the Old Norse word for sheep, the sheep islands, the sheep on every slope, their particular smell, the lanolin, the wet wool, the sheep of the Faroe Islands that have been here since the Norse settlers brought them. 1,000 years, the same sheep, their wool in the Faroese sweater, the same sweater tradition as the Icelandic loppipissa, different pattern, same cold, same wool, same warmth. The houses, the turf-roofed houses, colored wood, red and black and yellow and ochre, the colors that the Faroese paint their wooden houses, the same tradition as the Icelanders, color against the gray. We are here. We are warm inside. Despite everything, the house is small, the windows small, the windows that keep the cold out, that keep the warmth in, the warmth from the stoves inside, the stoves that burn whatever fuel the islands provide, the peat, the sea coal that washes up on certain shores, the imported coal and the imported wood, the islands that grow no trees, that have no forests, the wind preventing trees, the wind that is too constant and too strong for anything that reaches above the grass and the heather and the rock, no trees, the houses made from timber that came by boat, as everything in the Faroe Islands came by boat, until very recently, everything from the sea. Aside your ID, she is at the window. Her name is Sigrid, not Sigriður the Icelander, a different Sigrid, the Faroese Sigrid, the name that has been on these islands since the Norse settlement. She is 61. She has lived in this village her entire life. Born here, will die here. This is not a limitation. It is a choice, made consciously at 30, when she came back from Tórshavn, the capital city where she had gone at 18, to study, to work, to see what life beyond the village was. She saw, she understood. She came back at 30 and has been here ever since. 31 years back in the village. She has no regret. The village, the fjord, the gray, the sheep on the slope, the turf roofs. This is what she needed. She knew at 30. She has known since. The fjord below the village. The water, not the Norwegian fjord. The Faroese fjord is different. Narrower, the mountains on either side closer. The water in between darker. The current stronger Faroese fjord water, the cold water of the North Atlantic, finding its way between the islands. The tidal currents, the water moving, the surface of it, textured, always textured, the wind finding the water, the wind that is always here, the wind of the Faroe Islands, the wind that the islands are defined by, that shapes everything, the grass flattened by it, growing at an angle, the sheep huddled against it, the houses built with their backs to it, the boats when the boats go out knowing it, reading it, the wind, the constant presence that Sigrid has known her entire life, that she does not think about, that she notices only in its absence, which is rare, very rare. The puffins, they have mostly gone. The Atlantic puffins, the seabirds that nest in the grass cliffs of the Faroe Islands, that arrive in spring, that leave in August, they have mostly gone. September, a few remain. The late ones, the ones not quite ready. Sigrid has been watching the puffins go for 61 years. Every August, the puffins leaving, their burrows in the grass cliffs empty, the cliff that was full of their noise and their color, the orange beaks, the bright feet, the black and white of them, now empty, silent, the cliff that will be silent until next April, when they return, as they always return. The puffins, she sees one now, from the window, over the fjord, flying, the last of the late ones, the puffin's distinctive flight, the rapid wing beats, the direct, purposeful path, south, going south. She watches it until it disappears. She has watched the last puffin leave for as long as she can remember. She will watch next April, when the first one returns, as it always returns. The wool on the chair, her knitting, the Faroese sweater, in progress, the pattern, the traditional Faroese pattern, different from the Icelandic, more geometric, more precise, the Faroese pattern that goes around the yoke, the pattern that has been knitted in these islands for generations, that the women of the Faroe Islands have always known, that passes from mother to daughter, as Sigurður's Lapipissa pattern passed, as all the island knitting patterns pass, in the hands, not in books. Sigrid learned from her mother from hers, the pattern continuous, the wool, the Faroese wool, the wool of the island sheep, different from the Icelandic wool, similar, the same cold, producing similar warmth. She picks up the needles. She knits, looking at the fjord, the way Sigurður knitted, looking at the sea, the hands working, the eyes watching, the two things together. The meal she ate earlier, the skurbigjad, the fermented lamb, the Faroese delicacy, the lamb that is wind-dried in the eight-shallow, the traditional wooden drying shed, slatted, allowing the wind through, the lamb hanging inside, drying in the Faroese wind, the wind doing what the wind does here, what it has always done, drying the meat, preserving it, the skirpigjot, the taste of it strong, complex, not for the unprepared, but Sigrid has eaten it her whole life. The taste of the Faroe Islands, the taste of the wind and the cold and the months of drying, the taste of the resourcefulness of a people on islands with limited resources, who found what the wind could give, beyond weather, beyond isolation, the wind as preserver, the wind that preserves the meat, as the cold preserves the cheese cave in Armand's mountain, as the river preserves what it carries, as all the elements preserve what they are given. The heron from the fjord, the gray heron, the same heron as every other story, or its cousin, or its descendant, the heron that has always been at the Faroese fjord edge, standing, patient, the gray heron at the water, the same patient standing, the same relationship to water, the same gray, matching the sky, matching the water, matching the Faroese light, the heron perfectly suited to this place, as if the gray of the Faroe Islands required a gray bird, as if the landscape needed this particular stillness. At its edge, the heron providing it, as it always provides, wherever there is water, wherever there is evening, wherever there is the need for something very still at the edge of things. What the Grey is, the gray of the Faroe Islands. People who have not been here, they hear gray and think absence. They are wrong. The gray of the Faroe Islands is not absence. It is presence, a particular, specific, extraordinary presence. The gray that has texture, the gray that changes, hour by hour, the gray of the dawn sea, different from the gray of the midday cloud, different from the gray of the evening fog, different from the gray of the rain, different grays, all of them gray, all of them here, all of them this place. Sigrid has lived in the gray her entire life. She does not find it depressing. She finds it honest. The gray that does not pretend, that does not perform. That is simply what it is. The gray of the North Atlantic. Honest, present, her color, the color that is this place. The church at the village center. Small, stone, the Faroese village church. Its white walls, its wooden tower, the bell that rang this morning, that will ring tomorrow, as it has rung every Sunday. In this village, for as long as the village has had a church, the church that the people of this village have been attending for generations, the baptisms, the marriages, the funerals, all of the passages, in this small church, on this small island, in the gray light, with the wind outside, with the sheep on the slope, with the puffins coming and going, the church holding the life of the village, the way all the old churches in these stories hold the life of their communities. The monastery in Nepal, the shrine in Japan, the church in Ireland, this church in the Faroe Islands, holding what is given to it, the sound of the Faroe Islands. The wind, always. The wind in the grass. The wind in the eaves of the houses. The wind finding the gaps. The particular sound of wind in the Faroe Islands. Not the howling of the storm. Not tonight. The steady, moderate, permanent wind. That is always here. The background sound, as the sea was the background sound for Seamus, as the stream was the background for Edmund, as the clocks were the background for Elias. The wind, the Faroese background, the thing that is always there, and the water, the fjord, the current in it, audible from the village, very faintly, the sound of moving water, the tidal current, working through the fjord, and a sheep somewhere above the village, on the slope, calling once and then quiet, the wind, the water, the silence that is made from these things, growing still. Sigrid is at the window, the knitting in her hands, the pattern working, her eyes on the fjord, the gray, the water, the last of the light, the heron, still there, if thoughts are arriving, and they probably are, because that is what minds do. They are not staying long. The gray takes them, the Faroese gray. That does not perform. That is simply what it is. The thoughts come. You notice them. The gray receives them. Without judgment, without preference, simply here, as the gray is always here. You don't need to hold any of them. Just the window, just the fjord, just the gray, just Sigrid's hands, still working, the pattern continuing. Peace lives in this village, in the turf roofs, and the wool, and the skirpikjot, and the gray and Sigrid's 61 years of knowing that this was where she needed to be. Tonight it is yours. Good night. You are doing so beautifully. The day is done. You came to the village tonight. The fjord was below. The turf roofs were green above the colored walls. Sigrid was at the window, knitting, the pattern she learned from her mother. The last puffin flew south over the fjord. The gray was everywhere. The heron was at the water's edge. The village received you, as Faroese villages have received people for 1,000 years, with the wind and the gray and the wool and the fjord and the particular, extraordinary quality of a place that does not ask you to be anything other than what you are. Carry it with you on the gray days, not the difficult gray, the honest gray, the days when the color has gone from things and the world is simply what it is. Remember that the gray of the Faroe Islands is not absence. It is presence. The gray that does not pretend. That is simply here, as you are simply here. You know the way here now, but tonight you are already here. The fjord is below. The wind is in the grass. The wool is on the needles. Sleep now, deeply, completely. You deserve every gray soft, wind steady, fjord deep, turf roofed, island held moment of this rest. Every single one. Good night. Sleep well. The village through the night. the turf roofs at night, the grass roofs of the village. At night, the grass still growing. The grass never stops growing in the Faroe Islands. Not truly. The climate too mild, too cold for warmth, but too warm for the complete dormancy of winter. The grass growing, slowly, always slowly, but growing on the roofs, the living roofs, the roofs that are also the hillside, the roofs that the sheep graze. Sometimes, when the sheep find their way down, Sigrid has seen a sheep on a roof. More than once, the sheep that simply walked onto the roof from the hillside behind. The hillside and the roof at the same level. The sheep not knowing the difference, walking from hillside to roof to hillside. The grass continuous, the H-jaller, the drying shed behind Sigrid's house, the skirpikjot inside, this year's lamb, hanging, drying, the wind finding it through the slats, as it always finds it, the wind doing its work. Slowly, month by month, the meat becoming what it needs to become, the fermentation, the transformation, the same transformation as the cheese cave, as the wine barrel, as all the fermented things of these stories, the wind and the cold and the time, making something that was not there before, something that is only possible here, in this wind, in this cold, on these islands, the skirpikjot, unique, the wind at night, the Faroese wind at night, the same wind as the day wind. There is no night wind and day wind in the Faroe Islands. There is only wind, constant, variable in its intensity, never in its presence. The wind at night, moving through the village, finding the grass of the roofs, the grass bending, always bending, returning, like the bamboo, like everything that survives the constant, by bending and returning, the wind through the village, the doors tight, the windows tight, the warmth inside, held against the wind finding the gaps, the warmth holding, mostly the fjord at night, the fjord below the village, the tidal current, moving, the Faroese fjord tides, strong, the sea moving through the narrow channels between the islands, with the force of the confined tide, the current in the fjord tonight, going, which direction depends on the tide turning, as it always turns, the water revering, the current that was going one way, now going the other, the fjord accommodating, the fjord that has been accommodating the tides for as long as it has been a fjord, the same tides, the same reversal, the same accommodation, the sea and the island, their agreement, renegotiated, twice a day, what the Vikings brought, the Norse settlers who came to the Faroe Islands in the 9th century. What did they bring? The sheep. The sheep are the most obvious. The islands named for them. The sheep that are still here. Still the same essential breed. 1,000 years. But also the language. The Faroese language descended from Old Norse. That is the closest living language to the language the settlers spoke, closer to Old Norse than modern Norwegian, closer than modern Icelandic. The Faroese, preserved on these islands in the relative isolation, the isolation that is also preservation, the isolation that kept the language from changing as much as the mainland languages changed. The language still here in Sigrid's mouth when she speaks, the Old Norse, more or less 1,000 years later, still spoken on these islands, still here, Sigrid's night. She stays at the window until 10. The knitting, the fjord, the gray becoming the dark of the Faroe Islands in September, now genuinely dark, the gray giving way. At 10, she puts down the needles. She has finished 2 rows, perhaps 3. The sweater grows slowly. She is not in a hurry. The sweater will be finished when it is finished. She makes tea. She goes to bed in the room that faces the fjord, the window of her bedroom. The fjord, dark now, but she knows it is there. She has always known it is there. She does not need to see it. The knowing is enough. The fjord, hers in the way that Moreg's harbor was hers, in the way that Sigurðr's sea was hers. By knowing, by 61 years of knowing, she sleeps. The wind, outside, the turf roof, above, the fjord, below, all of it hers. The puffin's journey, the last puffin, the one Sigrid watched, fly south over the fjord. It is gone now, far south, the Atlantic, the open ocean, where the puffins spend the winter, not on the islands, on the sea, the Atlantic puffin that spends 8 months of the year on the open ocean. That is as much a sea bird as a land bird. More, the puffin on the ocean, alone, or nearly, the small bird on the enormous ocean, the North Atlantic in winter, the storms, the puffin navigating them, as it always navigates them, with its particular skill, its particular body, its particular ancient knowledge. And in April, it will return to this island, to this cliff, to the same burrow, the same hole in the grass that it left in August, that it returns to every year, as Sigrid returns to this window, as everyone in these stories returns to the place that is theirs. By knowing, by love, by the simple fact of having been here long enough, the morning light, the Faroese morning, the light coming, not dramatically, not the burst of the tropical sunrise. The Faroese light arrives slowly, gradually, the gray lightening, very slowly, the dark gray becoming the lighter gray of pre-dawn, then the gray of morning, then perhaps, on rare days, a break in the cloud, a shaft of actual golden light, finding the fjord, finding the turf roofs, finding Sigrid at her window. She sees this several times a year. The golden light, finding the gray place. She does not try to keep it. She knows it is brief. She receives it. She lets it go. It comes back, not when she expects it, on its own schedule. The light of the Faroe Islands, rare, and for this reason, extraordinary. The thing that is rare is more itself. When it comes, what 31 years taught. Sigrid came back at 30. She has been back for 31 years. She has learned things in 31 years that she could not have learned in Torshavn, that she could not have learned anywhere else. She has learned the wind, not the concept of it, the specific wind of this specific fjord, the wind that comes from the north, that is different from the wind that comes from the southwest, the wind that means rain tomorrow, the wind that means the fishing boats will not go out. She has learned the light, the rare light, how to receive it without grasping. She has learned the gray, how the gray is not absence, but presence, how to live in it, how to be made by it. She has learned the puffins, their return and their leaving, the date of it varying by a few days, every year, but always happening. She has learned the patience, the island patience, the patience that the isolation teaches, that the wind teaches, that the returning puffin teaches. You wait, you receive, you do not go toward it. You wait, and it comes, as it always comes, in its own time. The fjord is dark. The wind is in the grass. The turf roofs, still growing. The heron is at the water's edge, very still. The puffin is on the open ocean. South, the Skirpikjot is in the 8-shallow. The wind through the slats, working. Sigrid is asleep. The fjord, below her window, known 61 years. The church is dark. Its bell is still. The sheep are on the slope. Somewhere, the gray is everywhere. The honest gray, the gray that does not pretend. And the wind, always, and you are sleeping, deeply, completely, peacefully, in the Faroese village, on the fjord, the turf roof above you, the grass growing, the wind finding the gaps, the warmth inside, holding as it has always held, against the wind. This is exactly where you should be. This is exactly what you deserve. Every gray soft, wind steady, fjord deep, turf roofed, island held moment. Every single one. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night. End.